Hello everyone, I'm Greg Otta with FedScoop TV. Welcome to our IT Modernization Heroes series. I'm talking with David Shive, the CIO of the GSA. David, thanks for joining us today.
Great, it's my pleasure to be here.
So to start off, tell me about a success story of how your agency has made significant headways when it comes to modernizing IT.
So the work of modernization, it's a constant effort, and GSA IT is no different in that regard. It's built into our DNA. We've been modernizing for as long as we've been around, but we've made some significant headway over the last 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
For example, we mobile-enabled our enterprise.
Okay.
We did that about 4.5 years ago. It was a good idea. We had some good theories, some good hypotheses why it would be a good idea to promote telework, to enable the work of the GSA mission to take place outside of the 4 walls of GSA buildings. But then there were some very real examples that validated those hypotheses. For example, when Hurricane Sandy hit the east coast of the United States, it destroyed and flooded 2,800 federal buildings. And
Wow, okay.
Our job is to manage and support federal buildings. We needed rapid response teams that would be able to go and assess buildings, look at remediation efforts. All of that work takes IT. It takes technology. Because we had mobile-enabled our workforce, those teams were able to fly into theater, into the location, and start helping immediately. Their job was not to go and stand up IT capability. It was to go find a network, any network. You know, we had employees working out of Pep Boys, the one building in a town that had power and had a network connection. And with their GSA computing assets, modernized computing assets, they were able to conduct the full suite of GSA support services to get chainsaws and generators and stuff like that in for first responders in, so that they could do their work of standing up and re-enabling that part of the country.
Very, very interesting stuff.
Yeah.
So the Obama administration and Tony Scott are proposing a $3.1 billion revolving IT modernization fund. What ideas does your agency have, or what systems could you best upgrade with this modernization fund if it is to become law?
Right, so it's a great idea. Seed money to modernize systems is difficult to come by when agency CIOs are focused on the mission of the organization. But it's critical that systems be modernized. There's some obvious choices, some obvious places, systems that are not as secure as they should be,
Okay.
Systems that don't perform as well as they should, systems that are built on business process that maybe is decades old. Those are great opportunities to modernize, and those will be the ones that are considered as we do this.
So what's the biggest technology challenge you've encountered, or what has to change in order to accelerate IT modernization?
You know, that's a good question. Every agency is at a different maturity level when it comes to modernizing systems. I'll explain the GSA process, and maybe some will find that useful, some
Okay.
will not. We used a phased approach. Like any technology initiative, any business initiative, if you get a win under your belt, it promotes acceptance of that change. IT modernization of systems is no different. We started with some classic systems, email systems, collaboration systems, stuff like that. Once we found that we were able to successfully modernize those type of basic platform systems, we moved to systems that had increasing complexity.
Okay.
And that allowed us to do 2 things. One, it allowed us to show our business partners, the one who consume off of the systems that we provide, that we could do this successfully and we wouldn't drown their business in technology. The second thing that it allowed us to show is that we could sustain their business operations through these transformation pieces. Once we did well with things like mail, then they were able to turn over their customer resource management systems, their back office workflow systems. And they were able to say, okay, we can sustain our business as we go through the modernization and also modernize and transform the business that sits on these systems. It was a great process and worked very well for us.
Great. Final question. How have advances in cloud and containerization and agile development changed your outlook or your plans for the next 18 months when it comes to IT modernization?
So because we've moved 60+% of our infrastructure to the cloud, it's going to be more of the same. We'll continue some of the good work that we've done. Although that work, that heavy-duty work of moving to the cloud and using Agile for the delivery of large enterprise systems and small systems as well, that will inform some of our actions over the next 18 months.
Okay.
We will continue to look for opportunities to move enterprise systems to the cloud. We'll continue to look for opportunities to containerize and build and deliver systems in small, repeatable chunks through incremental development, incremental delivery, incremental funding over time. So we'll continue that work. What we will do is drive that deeper and deeper into the organization. At the same time, we will continue to work at enhancing our ability to deliver service to our customers even while we're going through these modernization times. In the end game here, this is not about delivering IT. This is about delivering business process transformation through the use of IT. And so we're very cautious and we'll be very careful about how we do that. And finally, the most important part about this move to containerization and Agile and cloud is we'll change the way that we measure our outcomes.
Okay.
We will look to measure how successful we are in business outcomes rather than technology outcomes. Those business outcomes can be, are our employees able to work more seamlessly? Can they reduce their transaction times as they go about the busy work of their day? Are the costs of the systems we're providing less expensive? And do we get greater business value out of that? That's how we'll kind of measure our success as we move along. That's one of our goals over the next 18 months.
Okay. Appreciate your insight, David. Thanks for joining us today.
Sure, it's my pleasure.
For FedScoop TV, I'm Greg Otto. Thanks for watching.